102.7 Promise 102.7 ne Promise TV so your benam de to so du ba ko won fie mpinu ne aduonu nsia emu ye sama ye de ba no eni ani mo bi ni
aban so wesi gina de inde de abana tena ya sika wodo wodo bo ho bra no onwinu an fansado wakata se wono ne bra ba wi
Mampani that George Kumukofo was separation of powers. Yeah, what your constitution when your money ye juma.
Kwaye bebrim edwumakuwa inde oye nguhu edwuma na woye wole chiremete galamse follow ho wan ena nkrofa wotungufi amahoro do wode bo man Ghana wode se woni nwuma pa
Municipal Chief Executive Wakwawu West ewapo yamantam Honorable Tamimu Halidu ena de to omo kocho BEC na nim so omo mani mere no munsua ade ye na mock na omo ye no eye susudua e wo so omo de carry won ho hwe
enwumakuwa horo no woro so na asema na payetum ya ne dametama boshaba electrical sinkania papa fie in the electrical gadget home appliances dey oye boshaba electrical solar and a rechargeable fan boshaba ko fa bi itaba as low as 170 Ghana cedis ebenye bi atom krobaton ye ba se dum pz KJT market krobaton kan use ni mhwe boshaba building ye ben prison so na about na fia ntata ku fabros na danum e wo pz importum edum hera no so krobaton twoto no ho 0536095966 na ba friend afi sofo kon heba center ekrase doctor osebo modern bra yerba biara ho no obatu efi ho or high blood pressure, sciatica, diabetes, hepatitis B. Man and Mayina in the war a woman how one sa use the children Mayina why and bro one premier Bahuri Narano for Reco Heba Center. Not once in Famo Yeba Papa Joda or the Casimenda and upon Sia Cosa in Bruno Numno Way Jumakumas or Breman or Ben Pentecost as a fun one auditorium no phrase 0248 672 271.
Midi at the mame a fear nyako papa bi na
Uncle Ebo Baini
Abusuafo ye shakase bono ase amamo ye was separation of powers ya ye kan o my Ghana ye arms of government the three arms no ye wo executives no ye mampani ene na pamfo ya asoafo eka ho ene ye wo legislature ya eno ye mrache bedwa no ene ye wo judiciary ye yatomu aso ye na obi agina kontonkoro ese odi ni dwuma obi entwintwa na nemu na mampani kofo de atudwa se de o man ne mra ehun hyehye ye tie nka wo se ebia agina brane eye na dwuma obi ntwitwa nanam nanso ne ye over 1992 constitution e kamea ye say executives no ne ye legislature no ba kwa so ba kwa nantini ene wo monam di ama na akoba nyina ne say constitution ne makwan e ma executive ne ye mampani e kwa mra hye bedwam ekuyi asoafo firi mu enti akoba sa na se ye hye mampani ni kete executive ni kete ama o ma ye o madwuma no na sa ye si one time bi e ma ne amamu ne da honom enti bradru na ade ache se yetimi hwenchehye ye bi ne ye masa ne ma we nyina firi ho ne ba ne sa accountability ebe ye adwuma yi.
I want straight separation. Legislature should be the people's representatives should be there to control the budget, the purse of the state. The executive should seek authorization from the legislature to make the budget to run the government, and then the executive should be held accountable first instance through the legislature, because the executive would formulate the policies and then seek approval of the people through the legislature, as well as in addition to the budget, as well as of now the vetting of ministers and appointees of, say, the president. The vetting is done through the legislature, but because of the multi-party system that the Constitution provides, and because the legislative committees are constituted, except for one or two, on basis of the relative strengths of the parties within the legislature, invariably the legislative assembly committees tend to reflect the pro rata. So whoever the president would nominate for vetting, the president would have majority of the vetting committees in the legislature, and so once the president nominates, invariably the nominee sails through.
And he said, "Yeah, mampani that Jack John Ejekumu Kofo Fidie wo wɔde nsɛm to dwan sɛ separation of powers ne deɛ yɛnhyehyɛ ne yie na ɛntumi nyɛ adwuma na 3 arms of government obiara nyina kɔntɔnkoro yɛ a obi nso baako nya ntini ɛba ne saa nhyehyɛeɛ ne nneɛma mu ɛbɛda ho fan
wɔ ene dede wɔ mmarahyɛ bɛkɔm asɔeɛ a wɔhwɛ ɔman ne sikasɛm totoeto mekyerɛ fotosɛm asɔeɛ no wɔdze nkontabi bubi kɔto ɔyɛ mmarahyɛ bɛkɔm wɔ n'anim na ɔyɛ fotosɛmfo abɛgyekyi owura Thomas Ampemdako ɛna ogyina yɛwura kɛse latofo se nanenem na ɔde dɛm nkontabu no kɔto ne nyinara yɛ aban asɔeɛ a wapɔ wɔnede ndede sika a wɔde bɔ aban asɔeɛ atenaeɛ ahoro no ho bra no ne mu nkontabu no bɔtɔgo na ɔle kyerɛ me de na kyerɛ dɛ wɔnam dɛm kwan no domende ɔman Ghana yɛrehwɛ sika yie papa wɔde kyerɛ ma hɔne hwehwɛmu a wɔayɛ kyerɛ me de ɔman Ghana sika ɔpepepe a wɔtwe ne kyerɛ ekɔrɔ no yɛ sika bia inde hɔne hwehwɛmu kyerɛ ma ma wɔatua na bia wɔntue ɛna manka wɔrehwɛ nyim na wɔbɔtua nyinara wɔgye tuma ɔnyɛ yie no ne nyinaa yɛ adze a wɔdze bɔ ɔman ikaw na ɔno na asɔyɛ no kyerɛ me dɛ wɔdze nyɛma no bɛbɔgu akon madam basabasayɛ na ɔkɔdoma inde de ɔman Ghana yɛhwere sika wɔ kataase hyɛ ho no ne de twa.
This audit has exposed a rotten system designed to fleece the people of Ghana. It reveals not just lapses in our public financial management architecture, but a pervasive and systemic plunder of the public purse. A culture marked by the fabrication of fictitious claims, the resubmission of recycled invoices, the forgery of stores receipt advice, and the treatment of public funds as personal entitlement rather than as public trust. The President Mahama administration refuses to accept this rotten system. In fact, we refuse to normalize waste.
Entino onyumnyamfo Thomas Ampemdako fotosamfo abezechi nenzina yetin dada wo mrahye begom.
Yakwa West mensim ewo po yamanchemu a empanimfo atimi aye nhyehyɛ omonam Ghana Education Service for so aye BEC mock ni bi edi ama adesuafo mo bekwa akwacho BEC eye meya na kotoni ma bosome ya ye besimu no na ho nsunsanso na bawie ye no na municipal chief executive honorable Tamimu Halidu wodi tu woni ekotro nsɔhwɛ nanim esa mock ye o mo kyerɛ ye no eye susudi ana nsɔhwɛ o mo de carry won ware ehu sɛ nsɔhwɛ na ɛda woni mo kɔ kɛse no obetimi ako ana enti wo srɛ esa de aban no sɛ de questions ne ba ne sɛ de o mo answer ye no o mo hwɛ de o mo tosini wom no mo fansiesi o mo ho ntwɛn kɔ kɛse no ya ɛda w'anim no wɔgye sɛ osiesie na saa abre ya wɔ ma ɔnwomasua ho hia wa obedi nkunim anya school papa a wɔpɛ akɔdo
na I'm highly impressed sɛ ɛnɛma ɔma hyehyɛ de go otumi sɛ exam sɔn metron a standard baabi bia bɛkɔ na atmosphere ne so yɛ calm room bia me room so otumi sɛ mmɔfra ne yɛ relax otumi sɛ they are prepared na ma ogye deɛ sɛ saa dwumadie wei kɔ so ɛnɛ ne da nyinaa Director education kind. I want to be one of the best, if not the best, in the country. I just say municipal chief executive. They have best schools in the country near the West Eastern region. You call a bo a prohing nano. I am cranche, and your mom say, "Oh my romo." Now I'm a friend of Dachi. Say I'm a friend Dachi Jana.
Honorable Tamimu Halidu, Municipal Chief Executive Kwawu West, and then yet na Municipal Director of Education, Owura George Yanchara, and so achemu say, more kono, amoma hu niema ahudro bebiri, any baby and yama twistini, into a mobile no mash hot day, said ye be beboa waek, exams or mobile choye BEC.
Walk away, it me bois. Emen kwala ni hu almost standard. Until say mo hanuma, teacher ni bia interfere. Ti akwada no odi ni trim there then etro ma omu ehun se no say BEC no na form sa enti no ye ni teachers no akasa say obia nya abofre bia na omanfa omutumi ne den entro then say 2840 nkwala ne de obia ye den etro.
Owura George Yanchara, Municipal Director of Education, Kwawu West.
Yeguda ye jine poye mantem na Ghana Oil Palm Development Company and woli chim de in the day jumaji biru kodoro ho woni juma ye papa woye oil vegetable oil na woli chima jumaji oro koduma in the day oro ho won ye papa ye amanfo nam koti kono to woje oil vegetable oil ni bi free oil amahoro do woje bo man Ghana ne bo fofofo ntino o ma ho no woni ji wonto no no woli chim de wonam dam kwan no duma ne sesu ntino o mo woni juma ho ye papa sa bana ne wanye bibia amfa ho a odo employment papa ye pa na wonam owura oye Andrew Antodo in charge of community development oduma company and odo the masem no tugwa.
Yes, also because when their product comes in through these illegal means, at the end of the day the products are substandards. We don't know the source where it's coming from. For GOPDC you can trace our source, so I mean it is a very serious challenge. And it calls for concern for all stakeholders to ensure that we stop the illegal import of oil products. So if the illegal import is not checked, the net effect is that it is going to also, or it is impacting on our, the sales.
No we no le chiem de galamse so ho ye papa nsase ahoro a waja wedua emma wodo a onno wotwa wode ye ngui na de nyina no galamse fo wode rorom o ma ne sesu nti woro boko ye papa osande bru ne bra no oda wodi sika na wo pe ankrankoro abanwofo no wotwe hona kawo me wo bo wona nsase no ho ba no mo hon.
Instances where especially the buyers try to work closer to our boundaries, both in Kumani especially. We've had that instances last year, but due to swift collaboration between GOPDC security and the government security agencies, we were able to push them out from our boundaries. However, there should be continuous monitoring to ensure that they don't return, because when they come, they destroy the water bodies especially, which also affect aquatic life and then the environment in general. So,
Ora Andrew Anto oye in charge of community development Zima Ghana Oil Palm Oil Development Company.
Yada soa okwadwuma ene ne nsensemu na Ora Johnson esiedun ketia ye national chairman Emma National Democratic Congress ndi Samanyoku no oda soa de thank you to no ene nam nan krampumpuni mantamu ada constituency wakọ ho no ena odi nsamu tudwa se tomatoes dodo na edua omuso omudua na abusu na epro ye omunya atofo enso so no factories ahodo bi onso omuhia tomatoes so omo beye ade agugu ntotrem na so omasakra mu a ye betimi di agu ho ache na enso so ye omu ne se ye chada o tomatoes na de factories no e chada hia nti obesere wo mo wotwa ka wo tomatoes dua mu ni kwadwuma mu ese wo mo hu nsonso ye da ne ntamu na wo hu de ye dua de ma factory ene ne keka ho gidi say ye hu num sa na ebeboa.
That was raised by Nene. It is true that even when the tomatoes are produced, there's always a glut and then you can't find market. But the problem I keep talking about wherever I go is that, see, even though we are producing tomatoes and we cannot get buyers, Ghana is still importing tomatoes. You know the reason? Because those who use tomatoes in their factories, they need a certain type of tomatoes. So unless and until you grow that type, they cannot buy. Your tomatoes will be rotten while they are importing other tomatoes to process.
Ora Johnson esiedun ketia national chairman ama NDC Amanyoku.
Na yemworo mu mfimfini mantem na ochechefo panyin abezechi in charge of academics Zima Obrecha Senior High Technical School Roberta Fusua mami lichemde epe school no akaza inde wode chairman from no nkanka moye insanu dwumadini nyinara no ho akwatwe amhoniye papa nti no oja ode wodi bom from hom wontum mfonra olichiremu abiti oye woodworks and afa metal works one workshop no infiro de wonye no wode cheche mfama na age na binwo ehwe electrical engineering and afa home economics a ni nyina kanza wode school ni hia na wode chema mfama na age no wonyi biye papa nti no wole sram wode womre no mabo wan.
So I'm academic, so you can just have an fair idea. Classrooms, which is not enough, have been converted into dormitories, and we are a technical school. We are doing electricals, visual arts, home economics is around, woodwork, metal work. Unfortunately, we don't have any lab for any of them. For home economics, they are having a structure, the management are solved for them to somehow improvise. The technical and have what have you, they had some woodwork materials, they gave it to them, but they are so obsolete. It has been long overdue, and most of them are not functioning again, so they are only managing. And you can see the machines are all old, they are not working, but that is what we have for now. Some of the teachers are doing what, they are almost like magicians. They manage to some extent. You know, some of them, no matter the repairs, they are not.
Na wo yanumun ana indei mrasebe gomnyo wo ewutu senya west gazela tete abutwe na oli yanu no oli chirem dem obobo modinara na tivet impenimfa wohwe oye introduce school a insanuduma wo mu no oyinwona akasa na wape ohaw no na nopumasibir izama obreche senior high technical school for.
Yes, I had a discussion with the director of TVET. So we're seeing what options are on the table for the school to get their share of to bring it back to life in the technical sense, you know. And so that's what I refer to, that when you're cooking something, you don't often say what exactly it is, but I can put it out there that we're having discussions with TVET, and we'll see what we can get for the school.
Enti ewutu senya west mrashe begomnyima me gazela tete abutwi nenze ene yati
make afugina vehicle services e di amawa no pa wo pa aduane adi a omo wo normal breakfast and English breakfast e wo ho wo plain rice and stew e wo ho awia fried rice de jollof rice spaghetti ni noodles so wo ho wo so wo ya yi wo ya party wo ya we di aponto ben